Have you ever noticed how your mind never stops at night? How thoughts replay conversations, worry about the future, or imagine endless, what-if, scenarios? You might think you're overthinking because you're weak, anxious, or even broken. But that is not the case. Overthinking is not a flaw. It is not a weakness. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. In fact, overthinking is your brain's safety mode. It's your nervous system's way of keeping you alive, even when there's no immediate danger. This is one of the most important things I tell my patients. The brain is not designed for happiness. It is designed for survival. And survival is often misunderstood as stress in our modern world. Let me explain. Thousands of years ago, danger was visible and immediate: predators, natural disasters, enemies. The brain evolved to detect threats quickly and accurately. Today, danger has changed. Deadlines, financial pressures, social obligations, emails, social media, political news, these are the modern triggers. But your brain responds the same way it always has: scanning, analyzing, predicting, overthinking. When the brain detects a potential threat, it doesn't shut off. It activates the threat detection system. Thoughts replay automatically. What if? Questions multiply. Conversations, mistakes, future scenarios, they all loop endlessly. This is not malfunction. This is protection. That's why advice like, "just stop thinking," rarely works. From the brain's perspective, stopping feels unsafe. Imagine telling a smoke alarm to stay silent while smoke is still in the room. The brain does the same. It continues to think because it believes that doing so is protecting you. The problem isn't the overthinking itself. The problem is the nervous system never receiving the signal that it is safe to relax. And here's the catch: most people blame themselves. Why can't I control my thoughts? Why am I like this? Self-blame is one of the worst things you can do for overthinking because criticism itself is a threat signal to the brain. The brain hears judgment as danger, which only fuels the loop. This is why self-compassion is so important. Self-compassion is not weakness. It's regulation. When patients replace self-blame with understanding, the nervous system begins to calm naturally. Instead of fighting thoughts, the mind begins to feel safe, and overthinking naturally decreases. High-achieving individuals are particularly vulnerable to chronic overthinking. They appear calm and composed on the outside but are mentally exhausted on the inside. Doctors call this high-functioning burnout. Their stress-to-recovery ratio is off. For every hour of stress, the nervous system may require 10 to 15 minutes of active recovery. Many people live in a 1:1 ratio, which is insufficient. The result: overthinking becomes chronic. Energy drops, focus diminishes, and mental clarity suffers. So how do doctors help patients calm the brain without forcing thoughts? The answer lies in safety, not control. Recovery, not repression. Techniques focus on calming the nervous system. When the body feels safe, the mind follows. One of the most powerful techniques is grounding the body before addressing the mind. Slow, deep breathing, relaxing the jaw, lowering the shoulders, and gentle movement tell the nervous system there is no threat. Once the brain perceives safety, thought volume decreases naturally. Another method is reframing. Instead of saying, "I'm overthinking," say, "My brain is trying to protect me right now." This simple sentence removes shame, restores perspective, and immediately signals safety to the nervous system. Over time, this decreases thought intensity and prevents the loop from escalating. Micro breaks throughout the day are also essential. For every hour of work or stress, take 5 to 10 minutes of intentional downtime. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, or listen to calming sounds. Avoid screens, notifications, or multitasking during this time. These small resets train the nervous system to downshift, signaling that it's safe to stop scanning constantly. Screen hygiene is another critical factor. Blue light from phones and computers suppresses melatonin, which is necessary for restorative sleep. Turn off screens 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Dim lights and avoid stressful or stimulating content. The nervous system needs calm and darkness to fully restore energy. Predictable routines help the brain anticipate safety. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, Practicing bedtime rituals like reading, stretching, or meditation, and creating a calm pre-sleep environment allow the nervous system to downshift reliably. Intentional quiet moments, even just 5 minutes a few times a day, are like mini resets. Guided meditation, breathwork, or simply sitting without distractions can prevent mental fatigue from accumulating. When these moments are consistent, the nervous system recalibrates naturally. Gentle physical activity also plays a role. Walking, yoga, stretching, or light movement reduces cortisol, releases endorphins, and improves blood flow. Combining this with micro breaks and quiet moments accelerates nervous system recovery. Nutrition and hydration cannot be overlooked. Low blood sugar, dehydration, and excessive caffeine worsen overthinking by keeping the brain in alert mode. Balanced meals, proper hydration, and reduced stimulants support both energy levels and nervous system function. Let's look at examples. One patient, a 35-year-old engineer, slept 8 hours but woke up exhausted and mentally preoccupied. By implementing micro breaks, screen-free evenings, grounding techniques, and daily journaling of energy levels, his stress-to-recovery ratio improved from 1:2 to nearly 1:10 in just 3 weeks. Sleep became restorative, overthinking decreased, and cognitive clarity returned. Another patient, a 42-year-old manager, relied on coffee to stay alert. By introducing structured downtime, mindful acceptance, slow evening routines, and gentle physical activity, she reduced caffeine use, lowered cortisol, and regained natural energy without medications. Here's the biological explanation. When the nervous system perceives safety, the parasympathetic system activates. Heart rate slows, cortisol drops, digestion improves, and the brain enters restorative states. Thought volume decreases naturally as a side effect, not as a forced effort. Even small interventions help. 2 minutes of deep breathing, 3 conscious breaths, stepping outside briefly, or releasing tension in the body can act as a safety signal. These tiny resets accumulate, reducing overthinking and mental fatigue over time. Sleep alone rarely solves chronic overthinking because the subconscious mind constantly monitors threats. Deadlines, bills, social obligations, and minor worries keep the nervous system alert. Deep restorative sleep requires that the brain feels safe. Without this signal, sleep may be long but shallow, leaving you mentally exhausted despite adequate rest. To fix this, create a safety window before bed. Dim the lights, silence notifications, avoid stressful conversations, and engage in calm, non-demanding activities. The nervous system senses safety, allowing restorative sleep and natural thought reduction. Tracking energy is crucial. Maintain a simple journal to note energy levels before and after recovery practices. Over time, patterns emerge, showing which habits restore energy and which increase stress. This feedback is essential for sustainable recovery. Recovery is cumulative and intentional. Combining micro breaks, screen-free evenings, predictable routines, quiet moments, gentle movement, mindful acceptance, proper nutrition, hydration, and energy tracking recalibrates the nervous system. Within weeks, overthinking decreases, stress-to-recovery ratios improve, cognitive clarity returns, and emotional balance is restored. Remember, overthinking is not your enemy. It is a signal that your nervous system needs safety, rest, and recovery. When you stop fighting the brain and start calming it, thought volume decreases naturally. In the next video, I will show a 20 to 30 minute doctor-approved daily protocol to reset your nervous system, reduce overthinking, restore energy, and improve sleep, all without medication or forced mental control.